Hi guys, and welcome back to OG Cars, and in today's video we wanted to go over the reasons why we love our most recent daily driver, and that car of course is our V6 Renault Laguna. So to cut a long story short, me and Owen decided it'd probably be a good idea for us to buy a car that could tow. We obviously started looking at all the sensible options and then decided to be completely unsensible when this came up, because this, of course, if you don't know, is a Renault Laguna V6. So really cool engine, exactly the same one you get out of the Renault Clio V6, of course, for a fraction of the price, because those cars are flying through the roof in value. Now, we've obviously had this car for a few months now, and at first we were really unsure because we didn't really know if we were going to like it, what we were going to think of it. But you know what? We've ended up really liking this car. So let's go over a few of the things we really like about it. Point number one, we really like the styling of this car. Now, this obviously has the pre-facelift front end, which we think is really nice, and it's probably my favourite part of the car. When we first bought the car, we weren't that sure on the rear end, but you know what? That has come to grow on me. I think when you compare it to later cars, this back end actually looks really nice. We also really like the wheels. They are 17 inches. They clean up really nice. And we also just like the styling and the colour. When the colour has had a clean like it has today, it looks spot on. Point two, practicality. This is an estate. It's the reason we bought it. We didn't want an SUV. They don't really appeal to us. We really wanted an estate. And this car has loads and loads of space. Now, as you can see, unfortunately on this one, the boot trims are missing, and God forbid you try and find boot trims for a car where there's like one of a handful left. It's been quite hard. We did plan to put stuff in, it just hasn't happened yet, but to be honest, it's been really good for us for just chucking things in and out when we need them, and it's absolutely done the job for us perfectly fine. Like, you can fit 2 full-size Owens in there and shut the parcel shelf. So practicality, brilliant. Point three, the interior, and we'll start with the back because I'm in the back. The interior is in really nice condition, and it's got like few little things that for the age of the car are actually really nice. For example, there's a 12-volt socket down there for the rear passengers. There's an ashtray if someone wanted to smoke in the car, I don't really know. And there are 2 cup holders here as well. And obviously if you've got a 5th passenger, they can't use the cup holder, but we've had 5 of us in this when we've gone places, and you know what, there's more than enough room for everyone. There's more than enough room for all the stuff in the back, and it's just a really nice place to be. But I think the front is just a little bit nicer than the back, so let's have a look at that now. Now we move on to the front, which is a place me and Owen have spent a lot of time recently, and it's almost like a fight for who's going to drive, because we really like driving this car. But it's a really nice place to be. I think for an early 2000s car, the interior is really nice, and this could be a very biased opinion, I don't really know, but I think some of the like late 2000 interiors on Renaults aren't that great. Whereas I think this is actually really nice. It's still simplistic, but it works. You've got nice features such as your radio, which you can hide away in there. The radio works, the speakers are nice. You've got a really jazzy cup holder by here as well if you need to use it. You've got digital display for all your heaters. There's aircon, another ashtray, another 12 volt, and in here under this, there's another 12 volt. So there's actually 3 12 volts in this car, which is really cool. Of course, it is an automatic. All the V6s came with the automatic gearbox. You know what? This is my first automatic. I've really grown to love it. I think before this I would have said, no, I wouldn't buy an automatic. I absolutely would after driving this. It's got the manual modes. If you want to have a bit of fun, it works. It's fantastic. While I'm thinking about it, few other features. It has ESP, so you can turn ESP off, and you've also got cruise control, which we found out does actually work, which is absolutely amazing. So you've got your little things on here for your cruise control, or your controls for the radio or on the stalk by here. It's all in a nice place, it all really works, and it's just a nice place to be. Point four, and the reason we bought this car in the first place, is of course the engine. Now, we'll get onto it in a minute, maybe the cons of having a V6 in your daily driver, but this is a fantastic engine. It sounds really good, it's got more than enough power, and it's just really cool to say to people that your daily driver has a 3-litre V6 out of the Renault Clio V6 in it. We really like it. Tried to give it a bit of a tidy up. We've done a few thousand miles in this now, so it's not looking as good as it did, but it's a really nice setup. We really like the engine. Thumbs up from me. And my last point is appeal. Now, when we were looking for a daily driver, we weren't looking for anything in particular, apart from the fact that we really fancied an XC70 cross country, but we'll skim over that. This ticked every box for us. We wanted an estate. We wanted something that could go into the Bristol emission zone, ULEZ, in case we ever need to go there, and something that was rare. And we managed to stumble upon a gem. And you know what? We're really happy. I think at first we weren't sure if we were going to get on with this car, but we've actually ended up really, really liking it. So for anyone who says, don't go and buy a Mark II Laguna, do. We've loved our time with this. It's been nothing but good to us, and we absolutely praise it to the moon and back. Now, of course, with everything, it's not always going to be positive. So what are a few of the negatives we've had of owning a V6 Laguna? This is the big one. This has to be open every single week for me and Owen, because Owen uses it for work and I use it for work. We share the car. And it costs us about £70 to £80 a week to fill up. So you can do the maths. It's over £300 a month for us to run this car. Positive, it sounds really cool and we really like it. Negative, it's been very expensive compared to any other daily driver we probably could have bought. Points 2 and 3, and they can both be done from this angle because they both relate to things at the back of the car. Point number 2, there's no tow bar, and I said at the start we bought this car to tow other cars with. We knew this when we bought it and thought, we'll fit a tow bar, how hard can that be? Apparently you need to pay half the amount you paid for the car to fit a tow bar. Unfortunately, the company we were going to use, who would have been cheaper, no longer fit tow bars, so we've never fitted a tow bar to it. And point 3 is parts availability. Now, maintenance stuff, all of that stuff you can get. Body stuff, hard. We found this out because, as you've seen, our boot still has absolutely no trims in it because there are very little amounts of Mark II Laguna estates left. It's really hard to find them. I did message one who was braking and he just didn't have those parts anymore. So that probably is a little bit of a downside. Someone might correct me in the comments and say, oh, well, the Mark III Laguna is exactly the same and they'll fit. But I didn't know that and I've tried to look into it and I can't find out. So I'm just saying it just in case someone comes across the same problem as us. This is my last point, and it should have been the point I brought in point 1, so I'm just going to count it as point 1, but delayed point 1, is running costs. Now, you have to see it from our point of view. We went from a 1.2 Panda, which was £35 a month to tax, nothing to fill up, cheap motoring, to a massive V6. So, of course, running costs are a lot higher. Tax is a lot higher. I can't remember exactly, but it's somewhere between £300 and £400 for the year to tax it, and we're paying £80 a week to fill it up. It's a lot compared to the other daily driver that we had before this. Of course, I've already said it, but we really like this car, so we've kind of just put that to the back of our heads and not cared about it, but just something for someone to consider if they did want to look at a V6 Laguna. Something I haven't focused on is what is the Laguna like to drive. So let's show you. One of the things that I really like about the Laguna is the way it drives. It's comfortable to drive, it's smooth, it does everything you want it to do, and I'm just really impressed with the way it drives. It's super comfy, as I say, but one of the main things I like is if I'm bored, I can flip it into manual mode and go Another positive about the way it drives is the handling. I think you'd think because it's a big, long car that it's probably a little bit lumbersome to drive, but when you compare it to our Skoda Fabra, granted that's not very fair because the Fabra is 12 years older than this car, it actually handles itself really, really well. I think you can put it into a corner well, I think it holds itself well, and it's got really nice road positioning if you do want to have a bit of fun. But aside that, it just holds the road really nicely. Coming from someone who has always owned a manual car and in honesty has sort of put her nose up at having an automatic, this car has really surprised me. Now you have to take into account this car is 21 years old, so the gear shifts, as you probably noticed when I accelerated, are not immediate. There's a sheep in the road. Oh! Apologies, brief interruption. Obvious we're living in Wales, I know. But the gearbox is actually really nice. It's really smooth and it gets the job done. And if you want to moan about it shifting slowly, for the age, I think the gearbox is really, really good. And there is always that scare when you buy an older car with automatic gearboxes. You hear horror stories of certain older automatic gearboxes being really unreliable. This one's been fantastic, and it's made me have a bit of an itch to maybe have another automatic car, so who knows what's coming in the future. And lastly, the noise. It's a V6, it has a really good noise to it. What we'll do now is we will pull over and you guys can have a little bit of a listen to the sound that this car makes. So in conclusion, we really, really like this car, and there's going to be a sad note to the end of this video, which is that the Laguna is going up for sale, and we're genuinely gutted about this. That's literally no lie at all. And if the circumstances that have happened hadn't happened, we would not be selling the Laguna. But basically, long story short, we've been offered a very good daily driver for a very, very good price, and we've decided to go for it. It's not as exciting as the Laguna, and you're probably all going to go, boring. But we really like it, and you know what? It makes sense for us. As I said, the one con to owning this car has been the running costs, and this is going to more than half those running costs. I think even more. It could even be a quarter of what we pay out on the Laguna right now. So as much as we're really sad to see it go, we haven't towed anything. We haven't fitted a tow bar to the car. We're just going to get Sam, our Lord and Saviour, as Owen would say, to keep towing our cars, and we're going to get something that suits us a little bit more. So we're sad, but we really love this car. And you know what? If the circumstances hadn't happened, this car would be staying way longer because we really, really like it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.